As speakers, we are implored by people who teach public speaking to be genuine, to be our real self when we present. But are we really presenting our real self, or are we presenting the person we think and believe we are? There's a big difference. We could be coming from our real self, or we could be coming from this amorphous, nebulous, mind-made project which is called the ego self, what we think we are, the self-image. And if we're coming from the self-image, we don't like to be vulnerable. We like to come across as confident, sincere, knowledgeable, but all of this could be a bit of a front. Our knowledge might be good, but the sincerity might not be there. An ego will not risk being disliked by an audience. But if we are to be genuine to ourselves, we need to like ourselves. If we like ourselves really, genuinely, then we will probably like most people, at least, in the audience. If we don't like ourselves, then we will put up the front, the false front. Some time ago I got this book, Japanese authors, The Courage to be Disliked. Now, we bring into our lives that which we think about most. That is the way the universal law works. If we like people, we will draw to us people who like us. If we dislike people, no matter what sort of front we put on in front of an audience, deep down the audience will know that we are not being completely genuine. The old Shakespearean saying, "To thine own self be true, and it follows as the night follows the day, thou canst not be untrue to anyone." That's if we're coming from our real self, from our souls, not from our imagined false front, ego, mind-made self. Most of us have an ego. Ego fears. If you get up in front of an audience and you feel fearful, as most people do when they first start off, the trepidation can be so bad that they'll tremble or refuse to go up onto the stage itself. What's feeling the fear? The self-image of the person. We need to be very aware of this difference between the real us and the false us. It can become a lifelong task, working it out, but gradually, once you know about it, once you know that your self-image, your mind-made self, is not your real self, then you will start to become a better speaker. You'll be more willing to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable means you're really conquering the ego. That's what you're conquering, not the audience, your own fears. There's only our real self, and our real self, we're told, is love. Love. And our false self is fear. And this battle between them starts and goes on generally lifelong. As we gradually dissolve our fears, then we become more of our real self. And as we become more of our real self, the more we are able to actually reach into the hearts and the minds and the feelings of our audience. Start to understand your real self. Work on that. Work on all the skills of becoming a good speaker, the delivery, the structures, the content, but most of all, work on yourself. That way, as a speaker, you will continue to grow lifelong, and your audiences will get more and more of the real you as you present what you are to them.